Big up. Good morning to everybody. It's your boy MarkN, MUFC Fan, and you know what it is. It's the morning update, morning views, Manchester United news, guys, and we're gonna talk about some of these young stars that Manchester United have been scouting over the last 3 months. Lots of interest in these players. Like you never know what could happen. Yes, you have to acknowledge that we have some youngsters coming through the ranks, but we also need to bolster the squad and we need to bring in profile for profile. Some of these young talents are very exciting and some of them might be very expensive. But at the same time, if you look at them, they are focused on one thing: defense and midfield. There's not so much attacking, in terms of what we're looking at and the scouting that we have been doing. We have not really been looking at much of attackers. Been looking, our focus has been on defense, left back, center backs, replacements for the right back, right center back, these kinds of things. Of course, a midfielder, a defensive midfielder, and possibly an attacking midfielder. Guys, your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. I'm pretty sure some of you might not know about some of these players, but I know one or two of you that have been talking to me about these guys. Let's get right into it, guys. Take this time to smash those likes and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so we can see you can see when I'm live. Guys, it's a good one. Help the channel grow. I got these fun guys coming in. I got my buddy John in the background, and I got a few guys might be topping in this morning as well. Big up to everyone joining us. And if those of you on X, don't forget to share it around, hit it a retweet, and let's get the likes up, people. Good morning, my people. I got my buddy John here. He's already in the building, guys. What are you saying? How are you doing, my bro? What's good?
Nah, I'm good, bro. I am good. Just excited to get some football back this weekend. Those international breaks is really terrible, bro. Honestly, they are terrible. But I see that you have some inside information for us with regards to some players. So I'm good.
Use the mic, bro. The mic. Yeah. Tilt it up a little bit so you can see it.
Technical difficulties.
Big up, big up. Big up to you, Superfly. Big up to you, Mental Ball Game. It's an impossible dream now, but it would have been nice. Good morning to you, GB. Big up to you, Stephanie Griffith. You know you're the one. This is the MVP of the Man United space. She's on every show, pumping the likes. Thanks so much for the support. Hope you're having a great one. Big up to you, Mental. I'll drop the link in a few seconds, bro. I'm just gonna take it up really quickly and just jump into this first because we got a few players to talk about, six, but I want to give everybody a chance to understand about these players. So I'm gonna go into the articles so you can see for yourself what type of player these guys are. And I'm not just speaking out of my rear. You know what I'm saying, guys? So let's check out this first candidate, none other than Aaron Aslamino. And this youngster is Argentinian. He plays for Boca Juniors, guys. He's very, very good, consistent youngster. He's been doing very well. And it seems to me that the Boca family are not really keen to lose this youngster. But let's see what the article says. He's been saying his focus is there. He's 18 years old. He's a defender. He dismissed rumors suggesting he could be on a move amidst heavy links in Manchester United. United have been credited with an interest in multiple defenders ahead of the summer transfer window. Now it has been suggested the club has been tracking this youngster, Anselmino. A recent report covered by the People's Person relayed that United are eager to sign the player before loaning him back out to another club. It's believed that the scouts sent by the Red Devils already visited La Bombonera, which the highly rated centre back Anselmino is under contract at Boca until 2028, and his deal is thought to include a release clause just at 17.2 million.
Sign him.
Sign him in a heartbeat. I know, I know. I think the same thing. The teenagers asked about the ongoing speculation about his future by Argentine publication Ole. And Slamino told the newspaper, "My head is here in Boca. I want to win the title here and win titles with this shirt. Nothing came from outside. Oli noted that alongside United, Syria giants AC Milan are also admirers of the young Boca Junior star and would like to secure his services. Boca are understood to be aware of the diamond that they have within their ranks. This is why manager Diego Martinez has taken steps to include the player in his first team plans. Martinez is quoted as saying about the United defensive target Aaron's, the thing is not a surprise. Has a very great future. He concentrates on football all the time. He has the seriousness of a great person, and that is very, very good. The club president, Juan Roman Riquelme, also added that he's going to compete with the centre backs. He seems bigger with the growth that the head he has and the desire to learn that he shows. He's on his way to being a great footballer. Anselmino is right footed but can play both in the centre half positions. He also can slot in the middle of the park and play a defensive midfield role to great effect. Such is the level of his versatility. He has been a part of Boca's setup since the age of 12 and now looks to be the next big thing out of Argentina. He was promoted to Boca's first team in 2023 and has played 7 games for them so far. Guys, what are your thoughts? Let me know what you're thinking about the young Anselmino. I know he's very talented, and I would say we should go snap him up, but at the same time, I want to make sure that we're doing the right things and we're moving in the right manner. John, what are you thinking, bro?
Okay, so for me, I like the what I'm hearing with regards to sorry, the mic is better, right?
Yeah.
So I like what I'm hearing with regards to the type of profile that he is. We always, as fans, we always speak about why don't we get these top South American targets? Why don't we get these top players? For example, Enzo Fernandez that we wanted, Julian Alvarez. All of these different players are now are now at different at other clubs doing well. I mean, Enzo is in a struggling Chelsea team, but he won the World Cup. You can't doubt his talent. Julian Alvarez keeps the Bruyne out of the team sometimes. So there's top quality in Argentina. There's top quality in Brazil. There's top quality in South America in general, right? So if we can identify these types of players and we can bring them to the club, and I don't really like the idea of loaning them out. Because for me, your path into the first team is much more secure than loaning them out. Because if you look at what happened this season with regards to Omari Forsen and with regards to Ahmad, I know that's a very small test or a very small argument, but I noticed that with players that are loaned out compared to players that come from the academy into the first team, train with the squad, and then get integrated into the team, there's a much clearer pathway into the team for them. So I would prefer if he stays and fights for his position. And because I know that if we're going to sign him, he's not going to be the number one target. For example, if we sign him, there's going to be another centre back that we sign, hopefully. Um, so yeah, I think it's very positive. I think the fact that he has a release clause of 17 million pounds, I think that's well within our range. And I mean, the club can actually pull off a masterstroke in the sense of if we sign him, we don't have to sign another centre back because most of our players that we have is in that range 18, 19, 20 years old. You feel me?
Hmm. Yeah, and it's one of those things for me. Like, okay, I like the what you said there, but the one thing I will probably just say that I might not really agree with is the path into the first team. I feel like everyone has their journey. It's different for those, you know, anyone who want to come in. And let me just say this really quickly. The link is pinned in the description. It's also pinned in the chat, so you guys could just hit that. Come in if you want to have your say. But at the same time, I feel like the path to the first team is different for some players. It's not always, you know, the same direct route that like Kobe is having. But at the end of the day, it's like what I always say: if you're young, if you're talented, you're old enough. If you're good enough, you're old enough. And Kobe is one of those few, and we have to say it like this: he's one of those few players that comes into a team, regardless of stability or not, and has been able to perform week in, week out, you know what I mean? And demand, not only demand, but stake a claim to his starting position in the team. And I think this is this should be motivation and an inspiration to lots of young players around the world, because I mean, usually the best time to put players in a squad or to bring in young players is to bleed them into the team. And you can't always bleed them in sometimes, based on the fact that not every single football team is rocking or has that stability or that stable team. Some of them are in different situation and different circumstances. So for me, I just look at it from the perspective that I'm happy and pleased and surprised at what Kobe is doing, but at the same time, I don't expect every single other youngster to have a same or identical path. I expect them to get there in the end, though. But
But I
that's what
mean,
I'm thinking.
if you look at now what we have now with regards to Kobe and with Cornecho, all right. Um, I look at Kambuala, right?
Hmm.
He hasn't been given much opportunity, and the problem that I have at the moment is that he hasn't been given much opportunity, and we've been struggling at centre back. So that's another uh, case that you can make. So I get what you're saying. Although I just want for me personally, I just want us to sign someone that can come into the team, whether they're young or whether they're old, or whether they're young, they can come in and they can make a difference. They can prove themselves. Play in the big. Because I mean, Mark, for me, right? If I look at the players that we sign, and I look at the type of players that we've gotten over the recent past, right? And I look at the output that they delivered before Ten Hag, Harry Maguire, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, um, just to name two, Jadon Sancho. Most of these players that we sign don't do well. They come in and they don't do well. They don't know how to, and they're good players. They come in as good players. They come in because they performed. They now spend the 80 million, the 50 million, the 70 million on them because they are good players. According to the ITs, according to the scouts, they are good players. But when they come to Old Trafford, it is a bit of a it's a there's a problem in stepping up. They're not the same player that they was. Now, for me, right, if you're sending out a player on loan, you're not giving him the full expectation that he must have when he comes into the first team of knowing what it feels like to play at Old Trafford. Because it's one thing to be good, right? And it's another thing to be good at United. And we know that. I mean, we've seen good players come here, Alexis Sanchez, Paul Pogba. Good players come here that don't live up to their full potential.
Facts.
And I feel like if for me, we have a manager in Eric Ten Hag that can mold these gems, these diamonds in the rough. They can mold them into top quality Manchester United players. And for me, that outweighs the loan game time. That outweighs sending them out and letting them experience top football. When if you come here, you must be able to know that this isn't just top football. This is top football at the biggest club in the world, where you are scrutinized in every pass, you are scrutinized in everything you do in your life, you are scrutinized where you live, you scrutinize who you hang out with, who you associate yourself with. You're scrutinizing every single area of your life. So I think, and if I look at that article, the coach says he has a good mind and he focuses on football only, kind of alluding to the fact that he's not going to be a problem in the dressing room, and he's not going to be a problem with his for his teammates. And I must say I like that, because if you look at players, they come in with egos. They come in and they now made it, and now then they find themselves sitting on the bench at Dortmund. So yeah, that's a
Big
slight
up,
thing.
John. Big up, bro. I understand what you're saying. I mean, Smelly, big up to you, my bro. Welcome to the channel. Sachiv is the homie, so welcome. You're just as welcome as he is welcome. If you ever want to come in and have your say, big up to you. Mental, good morning, my bro. How are you doing?
Morning, bro. Morning. How's everyone doing?
Chilling, chilling. Talking about some, transfer news, little speculation about some young players we're looking at. Of course, John is concerned about players, getting that time in the team to develop. And I'm also of a concern, but I'm also a little bit more of the saying that the old school way, if you're good enough, you will earn your spot eventually. And players have to also have patience. They have to know that as good as they are, they might have to wait their turn, come in and show what they can do, use the best of the minutes and the chances that they have available to them, whether it's 5 minutes, 15 or 25. They should make the most of it. and not, have a big ego about, they deserve more time. I think this is the path that Alejandro Garnacho was walking last season. I
Mm,
mean, he wasn't getting a whole lot of minutes, but when he started contributing with assists here, a match winner there, his minutes kept on increasing. And I think
yeah.
this is the path for players. It's progressive, it's earned by their merit. And I think this is the way that we should be going forward. And yeah, I respect your way you think, John. I think, oh, you need more volume, bro. Can you hear me better now? I don't know why
I think
it's
it's just that the difference in the volume between you and John is massive right now. John is sounding way too loud and you're sounding way too low. So
Is
oh,
either
it?
I could
John
turn
needs
up
to
my mic
reduce a
if you
little bit
guys
or
like.
you need to turn it up a little bit.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Sorry about that, guys. Well, I'm just saying, the guys we can John, you can leave your mic how it is, bro. It's just one of those things where, you can
Okay.
just think about the perspective that not all players have the same, pathway, and sometimes it might be different for others, especially in the different positions. And with Manchester United being in the situation that they are in this season, it's one of those things where, they need the time. Some young players would need more time than others, and some others might be, it might just be a different stroke for different folk. Mental. We was talking about the young Anselm Asamino. This youngster is very talented, coming from Boca. He's a right center back, right back, and a CDM. He could also play at left center back. I think he's very good. I have watched maybe one game or two games of him. I can't say a full game because I watched like the second half of one game, and then after the Trinidad game I was doing this weekend, there's a game where he was playing for Boca, and I was able to catch the last few minutes of the game, and it was for me. I saw some good performances from him, but it's a little bit too small a sample size for me to say, you know what, just go out there and spend the money. But at the same time, I would look at it like this: Juan Riquelme is one of the players in world football that I really respected growing up as a youngster. He was my favorite winger when I was young. And this was before, I knew who Cristiano Ronaldo was I mean, he and I are practically the same age anyway. So it's not like if he was debuting when I was 14, he was still sweeping the streets. That was what my goat was doing. So I'm just saying, mental. I don't know if you heard about him or what are your thoughts, but I think adding him to what we currently have, and when I look at the youngsters in the academy, I think he's definitely going to suit us. I think he's almost at the top of the list if he was to join us in terms of the talent we have in the academy, based on what I have seen and what I've heard Riquelme say about him in the article.
No, I haven't heard of him as such, and I haven't seen him. The first time I've heard the name, just a few days back. I think it was from you only. But these are the kind of signings that actually excite me. The kind of players who we haven't heard of, and we buy them for cheap, and then when they come here and they prove themselves, that's what I like seeing in players. One of my favorite signings was Chicharito. No one had heard of him, and when we bought him, and when he came here and scored his first goal off his face, everyone was a fan of him. And I especially like South American players because their passion for football is something different. They have so much passion. They give every time they step on the pitch, they give their all. They're not someone who'll shy away from a tackle. They like a good tackle. They'll always keep running till they can't run anymore. So I'm very excited about this guy, man. If we can get him, I was just watching his YouTube clips right now, but looking at just 2 minutes of clips, he looks good. He's over 6 foot, so which is a good thing. We need kind of a tall person along with Licha
Martin
because
Licha as well,
we
right?
need someone who can win the aerial battles. So if we can get him, it's good. And about the players from the academy, I think I trust Ten Hag with that. The way he's been handling youth, I really like it. The way he's handled Garnacho, the way he's handled Menu. I think he's the best coach right now for us to bring the amazing talent that we have in our under 18s and not so much in under 21s, but under 18s has got so much talent right now. And I think Ten Hag is the best person in charge to bring those guys slowly into the team. And I know there was a lot of noise when we let what was his name? The guy who went to Everton, Gardner.
Corner.
Yeah,
James Garner.
James Garner. There was so much noise when Eric Ten Hag decided that he doesn't need James Garner. But look at him now. What is he doing at Everton? Is he starting every week? No. And when he starts, he's not doing anything special. And people were going, "Oh, Ten Hag doesn't know anything. He's letting Garner go. He's letting Zidane Iqbal go." He, if the when you have a manager there, he must be seeing something in those kids when they are training, when they are playing in these under 18s, under 21 matches. He must be observing them and then deciding whether he needs them or not, right? It's not like that he talks to them and he doesn't like how they talk and he decides that he doesn't want them. He was the one who brought Menu, so he must have seen something in Menu that he brought him to the first team, and now we can all see him. So I 100% trust Ten Hag when it comes to youth. Whatever he decides, whoever he wants to let go and whoever he wants to bring in, I'm totally okay with that. But as for the signings, these kind of signings where we don't know who this person is and we buy them, and then we need to give them time to develop. That's the most important thing. Because even when we signed Evra and Vidic, Evra was still a bit well known because he had played the Champions League final before. Vidic was kind of an unknown, but we needed to give him time because he struggled his first season massively as well. Even though he turned out to be a real gem for us, but he struggled when he came in. So it's not easy for these people to move to a new country, new culture. They don't know anyone here. So we as fans need to be patient with these kind of signings. But I'm very
100.
excited with this.
100%, bro. I'm kind of pretty excited as well. I'm gonna bring to you some more youngsters right now. I'm gonna come in with another defensive young talent. This time, this youngster is from the continent of Africa. So I know my buddies at the Reckless delegation are gonna be hyped for this youngster, but he has been showing very good performances for the likes of Barcelona, where he's at playing his youth football. This youngster, by the way, his name is Mikel Fai, you know, and he's one of the targets in a bustling wheel of football transfers, as they would say. He's a versatile defender who has caught the eye of the European giants. You know, the defensive reinforcements of Manchester United following the Barcelona youngster Mikel Fai. You know, ahead of the potential summer transfer, they're shedding light on United scouting missions. Fai's international debut for Senegal against Gabon was nothing short of spectacular, capturing the attention of scouts with a goal that showcases technical prowess. At just 19, Fai exhibits a maturity and versatility that makes him a prime target for United, who are in dire need for bolstering their defensive lineup. Versatility and athleticism. Fai's ability to operate both as a left back and a centre back adds a layer of appeal for the United. His journey from NK Custodia in Croatia is Barcelona's B-side underscores a trajectory of rapid development and adaptability. The Diamba's Academy product has impressed with not only his athleticism but physicality, but also his skillful play as evidenced by his controlled 30-yard strike for Senegal. The competition heats up. However, Manchester United are not the only ones in pursuit. Xabi Alonso's Bayern Leverkusen are also very keen on Faye, as are Inter Milan, as the Daily Mail reports. With Barcelona's financial considerations, a bidding war could ensue for Faye's services estimated around the £25 million mark. United's search for a dual role defender has also led them to Everton's Jared Branthwaite, though Faye's younger age and technical versatility offer a compelling alternative. Guys, this is one of the things I've been talking about, and I wanted to highlight. We have to consider the fact that we may be going for targets that are not at the top of the food chain in terms of the cost, but their talent will certainly be up there, and their potential will certainly be very high. Faye's profile is intriguingly similar to United's Lisandro Martinez, albeit with a greater physical presence and attacking threat. This comparison highlights Faye's potential to adapt to the Premier League's demanding nature and United's specific tactical needs. The club's ongoing challenges with injuries make the quest for a robust and versatile defender like Faye even more critical. Guys, your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. I think this youngster is going to be one of the big decisions in the window. I think he's probably going to be the first buy that we make. I've watched his game against Gabon and I've seen him. So I think he's very, very good. I think he's almost as watching a bigger version of Martinez in play. You know what I mean? He has a very feisty nature about him as well, but he's also controlled. So it's not like he's just rash. He doesn't give you that same recklessness that Hannibal used to give you when he came on for United. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things. It's one of those things. So, John, I'm going to go to you first. What are your thoughts? What are you thinking about this youngster?
Okay, so for me, it's a tricky one because we look at the what we just spoke about with regards to the Pocket Junior centre back, him
Mm-hmm.
being young, the understanding that they want to send him out on loan, which is no problem, right? But then you want to sign another 17-year-old or another 18-year-old, another teenager as a centre back. So what does that mean for the current centre backs that we have? Because we know with young players, they need time to bed into the team. They need time to train. They need time to make mistakes. They need time to do a lot of things, right? So for me personally, you have to choose one. You can't buy both unless you have the money to buy both. Then buy both, but you have to choose one and then buy a third centre back that's going to cost you more money because of the experience that they bring. For example, a Jared Brathwaite. I like Jared Brathwaite because of his pace and because of how good he is on the ball and because of his left foot,
I
right?
think he's overrated, but I'll leave that for
Yeah,
your reaction after.
yeah. But that's just my opinion. I like him. All right. If we're not gonna get a Jared Brathwaite, then at the Debo. If you're not gonna get it to Debo, then a Forsen that Tosin free. All right. That's on a free Tosin. I wouldn't mind him. But for me, we can't put all our eggs in the young player basket. You feel me? And that is just my concern. I'm all for the signing. He sounds like a good player. I think there's these articles I think are gassing him up a little bit too much because they only speak about his good qualities. They don't speak about his bad qualities. And I've never seen a player only have good qualities. I've seen players that come with both. So we just need to take these
True.
articles with a pinch of salt. But at the same time, I don't mind. I like the fact that we in the market for up and coming. We're in the market looking at top talent that can be developed. But problem that I have is that we need centre backs for now. We don't need centre backs for 3 years time. We need centre backs for now because Gary Maguire looks like he's going. Victor Lindelof looks like he's coming to the end of his United career. Johnny Evans looks like he's retiring. So all of a sudden, and Rafael Varane looks like he's coming to the end of his career as well. So now you have only one recognized centre back that's coming into the prime years of his life. What does that mean? Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I
So
understand. I get you. I get you. I'll let Mental go before I go. Mental, what do you think about this youngster that I was reading about just now?
Yeah, no, he looks promising, and he can cover two positions as well. He can play left back, so that'll give us cover for when Luke Shaw or Malacia or whoever new we sign. If that person's injured as well, then he can cover for the left back as well. And I was just looking at his YouTube clips as well. His distribution looks good. His diagonal ball is very good, distributing the ball in front. But he looks, I think he'll probably move further up the field because he looks more attack minded than being a defender, if I'm honest. He's scoring a lot of goals in the clips that I'm seeing. So I don't know if he actually enjoys defending or not. We'll probably have to see, but he looks more of an attacker than a defender. So and as John said, if we play him as a defender, maybe we'll find out that he's not that good as a defender. But I don't know if the scouts have looked at him and they've seen that he's good at defending and they get him, then I'm okay with it. But spending 25, 30 million on a player that we haven't heard of and hasn't played that many senior games is a bit of a risk. I think we've taken this kind of risk way too often. um, if we were getting him for 15, around 15, less than 20 basically, I would have said yeah, just go and get him because it's low risk. But reading that article that you were mentioning as well, it says there could be a bidding war between clubs and
mm,
it could go to 25, 30. That sounds a bit risky.
mm, I agree.
You're on mute, Mark.
100%, guys, 100%. Like I agree with with both sides of the market. Like I don't really appreciate the bidding war situation. I'm not for one to say we should be entering bidding wars. I mean, when I look at the profile of this young defender, I think he's the entire opposite of what we have in terms of what we looked at before. I think he's also the opposite of what we have in terms of Willie Kwambala. I think he's more likely to be a cheap alternative to a Jared Brantwaite, who would probably be like a reserve or a substitute for Alessandro Martinez if we were to get him. And to be fair, like if we were to get him for 25 million at the height or peak of the bidding war, in that regards, I might not be too mad because I could see him having, time to develop, learn, play behind, Lissandro, come in for like 10 minutes when, games probably already killed off and, Martinez just needs a rest. You know what I mean? And at the same time, I look at the other youngster who's more of a right-sided centre back. And as you know, John was saying, Varane might be on his way out, Harry Maguire as well. You know, we do have Willie Kwambala, who I feel is being drip fed into the team the way Garnacho was last season, because he's probably going to be that starter next season if Varane does leave. You know what I mean? I also read some reports about, you know, Victor Lindelof, but I was going to save those reports for tomorrow because I wanted to talk about players possibly leaving United tomorrow. And who
Mm.
are those players? And Victor Lindelof is one of the players that, is possibly open to exploring life outside or after Manchester United at this moment. So it's one of those things for me where I say, like, I understand what you're saying about getting a player to play now, but in my honest opinion, John Branthwaite is a very good player. I just don't see the hype because Garnacho had him on roller skates when we played Everton. He gave up a penalty. He could have had a second penalty given up. He was the guy that fell on the ball and put his hand behind his back and stopped the ball from going through his legs. Not only that, but there was a time when, Anthony put him on his back and he was skating and he carried the ball outside as well. So, for me, I'm not saying he's not good, he's not experienced, but I'm saying, listen, if my youngster could have him on roller skates for an entire 90 minutes, that's a problem for me. You know what I mean? I would have expected him to win a lot more battles in the game when I was watching the game against Everton because I was thinking we were going to go up against a serious challenge in the fact that, it's probably going to be peak for Garnacho winning any of the duels. And Garnacho pretty much won every single duel against him.
Mark, can I just
So,
respond to that quickly?
yeah, sure.
Okay. So for me, right, like yes, I agree with you that against Everton he didn't look very good. I mean, against us he didn't look very good. Um, I just I just think that like if you're going to isolate him, you're going to make any defender look bad. I mean, you look at Salah and Martinez last season. We know Martinez is a great defender. We know he's very, very good. He's one of our better players throughout the whole team. But isolated with Mohamed Salah, he looked bad. He got twisted up. They made a meme about him. And that's what's going to happen if you isolate defenders. And I think what Garnacho did with Brathwaite was that he isolated him and he took him for a run. And I mean,
True.
in today's football, that's what's going to happen against any winger, regardless of the type of centre back that you are. I mean, Virgil van Dijk gets away with it because he kind of doesn't let himself get isolated, but that sometimes goes against him because he gives the player too much space and then they score.
True.
So for me, if we can, I understand the fact that in isolation is not that good, but if we can play and not hide the deficiencies, but play and strengthen his deficiencies and make him better at not becoming isolated, defending as a team, becoming a team player when he's defending. I think then we can get much more out of him because yeah, for me, I want us to be a type of team that sits on the halfway line and attacks. You understand? And
True.
with Braithwaite, we can do that. With Martinez, we can do that. But with Maguire and with Lindelof, we can't do that.
Obviously.
So yeah. So that's just where I think if you're gonna isolate him as a defender, you're going to find that he has many deficiencies. But if you can play him in a system that doesn't expose what he's weak at, then you have a very good player on your hands.
True.
And
But at the same time, bro, like this is just my concern, right? And this is why I was saying what I'm saying. For 90 million, 90 million,
Yo,
bro.
nine,
And
not
there's just
90.
and there's just bro, like understand what I'm saying. This is just the open figure. We're not going to take into account if it have add-ons or sell-on clauses or anything like that in that deal, right? The
Mm,
problem for me is the 90 million.
yeah,
Because I don't want to be buying a player for 90 million that I have to make up for deficiencies for. You know, because think about it like this, right? I'm a huge fan of Anthony,
yeah.
right? But I'm not even saying we need to make up for Anthony these deficiencies. And he's
Mm,
a 90 million player at the same age. I think Anthony will come good because I think he has basically lots of talent and time to improve himself, you know, work on himself. And I think coming from South America, he has that drive, you know, to go against the odds. No, I'm not saying Jared Brandway don't have that drive. I'm just saying I don't want to end up in another $90 million debacle. I don't want
yeah,
fans
that's
to be
true.
going in on a player for 90 million again. I think this is where my main concern is when I talk about it. And I'm not even going to say, you know what I mean? I'm not even going to say that Jared Brantwaite can't overcome the odds or anything like that. I just don't want fans to attack another player based on a price tag. And as we seen, no matter what we say, it always swings in that direction. You know what I
Mm,
mean? And I feel like, bro, there's the one thing I trying to, you know, I just would like us, you know, this is why I was saying, you know, if we spend 50 and we get two defenders, nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? If we have to wait for them to develop. Now, hindsight, what if Varane stays? Let's just say, hypothetically, Varane stays, Harry and Lindelof goes. We have these two youngsters coming in the background. We spend 50 million for the pair of them. And they have all the time in the world to develop. Now, with that 50 million spent on these two guys, we could probably still go and spend 47 million or 50 million on a Jelson Bremer. Who has the experience that you're talking about. He has the ability to play both left or right center back. You know what I mean?
mm,
So he would be the go-to guy. And then you have these two youngsters to fill in. I mean, it's more about looking at it in a creative fashion. And at the same time, yeah, I understand. Yeah, we do need some experience coming in as well, you know. But you never know, like in the same regards, like, you know, it all depends on who's leaving in the summer, how many are leaving, you know, how does that impact the transfer budget, what is the transfer budget, and if the sales of players go to into the add to the transfer budget that we currently have, you know. So I just wanted to bring this other defender before we go on a little further, because you know this youngster, it kind of given me the vibes that we're not going for a Frimpong anymore, right? And I know everyone has been talking about Frimpong, Frimpong this, Frimpong that, but there are some youngsters out there that are around the same level of skill, may not be at the same level of experience, you know, but they could offer similar. And I just wanted to focus, you know, this week on the transfers that I was majorly talking about being players that, you know, we could afford. Affordability was the key word. You know what I mean? So this youngster, he plays in Italy. He's of mixed descent. His name is Bellanova. You know, a very 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 talented player. You know, Raul Bellanova is his name. His family is part Ecuadorian as well, but he was born and he was raised in Italy. So this young 23-year-old, you know, has been impressing under Ivan Juric, scoring one goal and providing 5 assists in 28 Serie League appearances, earning him links to clubs like United, Villa, and West Ham. And, you know, it's not to say that the youngster is not talented. You know, he's very, very talented. They don't have. Why did the page just reset? Okay. Yeah, so this youngster, you know, there's not a lot of news about him because, as you know, in Italy, they keep a lot of the news on their talent hush hush. You know, it's part of the way that they, you know, they raise talent there. They try to keep it unexpected. He's making his Italy debut this today. I believe he should be playing in a game today. You know, so guys, if you want to see more of him, maybe you should go check him out. I've watched him play this season and he's very, very robust. He gets up and down the flanks. for the entire 90 minutes. He doesn't seem to tire. He puts in tackle. He's very, very, very aggressive in the tackles. He's also very talented in the way that he gets out of trouble and he uses his ability to, kind of shield the ball and stuff and get a pass off, whether it be in a pass that saves him from trouble or a pass that breaks lines. So, and he's a right wing back, by the way. So, it might be some truth in the fact that Aaron Wan-Bissaka might be leaving the club, which that I was a fan that was thinking maybe Aaron Wan-Bissaka should leave. But after his performances, not only this season but coming to the end of last season, I'm thinking his improvement has been so consistent and steady under Ten Hag that I don't really want to sell him. You know what I mean? But I'm
Mm.
not too sure what you guys are thinking. I see brushes coming in. Big up to you. Smash the likes, folks. Don't forget there's 30 of you watching. Let's get the likes to at least 25, please. I hope you guys could help me. Every single like spreads the channel around, helps us to grow. And guys, if you enjoy the content, it's so easy. Just smash a like, guys. Don't forget to give it a share. Big up to you, Kenny. I see your relative was in here this morning. Thanks for the like. Big up to you. If you want to come in, the link is pinned. I know, Brush, you might not want to come in, but the link is pinned if you want to come in. Big up to you. And I know GB is saying Haaland tortured. I pretty much think he was talking about young Jared Branthwaite in that game. But I'm one of the guys that has a lot of favor for Willie Kwambala. I don't know if you guys, think, but I just think that, with the current transfers and the current scouting that we have been doing, the focus is mainly on the midfield and the defense. There's a other youngster I would like to talk about, but Mental John, what are your thoughts on this guy? I know there wasn't too much information about him, but being a right wing back at 23 years old, performing really well in Serie A, we know a lot of the best right backs in the world usually come from Serie A. So, what are we saying?
Yeah, I'll quickly make my point, and then I'll have to drop off.
No
But I
worries,
think
bro.
he looks good, but I think I personally would not go for a right back this summer. I think we should give Dallo and Van Bissaka another season. The way Van Bissaka has improved his game, I think he deserves to start at least half of the games where Dallo is being rested or Dallo's form dips and we need a backup. And I'm very happy with Dallo as well. Dallo is improving every season, man. He's become the player Jose Mourinho said he would become. He might not be the best right back in the world right now, but I think he's worked on his game and he's improved his game massively if you compare him from 2 seasons or 3 seasons before. He used to have so many defensive lapses where he'd lose concentration, lose his man. He doesn't do that anymore. He tracks back, he covers his man very nicely. And Van Bissaka, I mean, he has improved his game going forward so much. He can get out of tight situations now. He doesn't look like Bambi on ice when he gets the ball anymore. So I'm happy with the right back situation. If he can play right center back as well, and if we are getting him on cheap, then it's okay. But considering he's played a lot of games for Cagliari and Torino and Inter Milan, I don't think this deal would be cheap. And Italian clubs don't really let their players go for cheap to Premier League anyway. So the player looks good, but I don't think we need him in the position in our team right now.
True.
Yeah, and just to, I fully agree with Mental there because if I look at it right as well, he's a right wing back. He's not really a right-sided right back. You know what I mean? How often does he play in the? How often does he play in the four? Most of the time he's out wide. Not really have that much. He doesn't really have that much defensive responsibility that you would have when you're playing with two centre backs. Um, because he plays with three. So I think from that perspective as well, I wouldn't look at him as a priority. I do think that if you're going to get a right back, you can put Telo on the left back. We've seen it work with Cancelo. Cancelo was a right back that was playing left back, and sometimes he did better when he was playing left back. So I think, like Mental said, I think Telo is fantastic. I remember he went out on loan and I think he went to AC Milan, and AC Milan wanted him to the point where they were really in serious talks want to sign him, and we told him no, we don't want to sign, don't want to sell the player. And that just shows how good he was, how good his potential was. And I think we're seeing the fruits of the low right now. So I agree with Mental in keeping Wambasaka, keeping Dalot. I don't think we should look at the right back. Left back's important though. Luke Shaw is no longer can no longer be trusted. Yeah, exactly. Get a left back. So we need to get a left back. We need to look at getting, like Fabrizio said, we're looking at getting an important left back. That means that we potentially need to get probably a Theo Hernandez or someone. And based on yesterday's conversation with regards to Theo Hernandez, why can't we bring back Mason Greenwood in? So that's another thing that we need to currently look at it, in the sense of we need to get someone good at left back, an important, well established left back coming into the prime of his career. Splash the 50, 60 million on him, so that you have a player that's tried, that's tested, that's going to play majority of the games, so that your Tyra Malaysia and whoever's going to come in there that's young can be embedded in. Because I mean, Tyra Malaysia last season was good, um, but this season he's been anonymous, literally absent. So yeah, I think for me it's more about getting a left back and making sure that we get someone good, someone like, for example, if your Anthony Davis was available, your Mazraoui from Bayern, if he was available. I don't know if he's a right back, but a, a, I don't know if you get what I mean, Mark. Like
Yeah, I get exactly what you're
a
saying. We
proper
need,
left back.
yeah, we need someone to come in. Big up to you, mental ball game, and big up to you, Drex, my bro. I don't know if you want to come in, but the link is pinned. So if you want to come in, just hop in, bro. You know what it is. Thanks for having me. Welcome, bro. Anytime you want to come in, just jump in, my bro. And I totally agree with you. I totally agree with what you were saying there. We need a left back to come in that's gonna start. Someone who's just, you know, okay, big up, bro. Just someone who's ready to start, who has the experience. Like a Theo Hernandez might be a good option. You never know what could happen, but let's keep it moving on the left back situation. I wanted to move to midfield, and we have everyone's favorite, the dream of most United fans, even the dream of Bruno, because he wants to get this young João Neves in to the squad. We've seen him play alongside Bruno for Portugal in the internationals, and he's done really well. Could this be a prelude to what Manchester United midfield could look like after the summer? And Manchester United target revealed who's in, who's out. You know, relentless wheel of football rumors again. It's very lots of things are happening. Court offside reveals that Manchester United midfield is under intense scrutiny with a keen eye on injecting fresh talent into the squad. Among these targets, Benfica's prodigious talent, João Neves. And Joao Neves has emerged as a priority. The highly rated midfielder has captured the attention with his performances, enticing United's interest. However, there's also a double twist to this, because I've been hearing that we're back in for Rabiot, where his contract is nearing a conclusion, and it's possible we might be going in for him. So this might be the second signing for our midfield this season. I just wanted to mention this to the guys, because you know what, I'm really open to Joao Neves, but it's probably going to be 100 million. We all know how Rui Costa does things. You know what I mean? But he's very, very good. He's very, very good. I can't keep saying it. I just have to keep saying he's very, very good. And we definitely need a decent fitness coach, someone to inspect the training surfaces and so on, because we are getting way too many injuries. Facts with that, DJ Superfly. What are your thoughts, John? What are you thinking about this?
Look, so based on the information that Fabrizio, because I've been seeing Fabrizio yesterday, he's saying that he said it twice now. He said that United is looking for a striker, United is looking for an important centre back and important left back. If we're going to get a midfielder, the midfield is going to be at the end of the window, and I think he said it's going to depend on player sales. That's a problem, because if we are looking at a midfielder at the end of the window, we're not making that position a priority, and that's an issue because of the fact that Casemiro is not the same Casemiro that we got last season. Right? We have to be honest. And yes, he still adds value. Yes, he's still good. I think Casemiro is good. Don't get me wrong. But for me, we need a player because I mean he's been injured now for a big part of the season. I think half of the season he's been injured. Um, he's come back and then he got injured, come back, got injured. So he's back now, supposedly on the weekend. So, but the thing is, for me, we need to be looking at the replacement for him. Then we have another issue with regards to Eriksen. Eriksen's not happy. Eriksen wants to go. So for me, the guy on screen now, Neves, that's the dream. That is a dream. If we can get Neves, then we have a midfield partnership between Kobe and Neves with Bruno Fernandes up front. Um, and then after that, after Bruno obviously ends his career, we can look at getting Florian Wirtz as a replacement. Now all of a sudden you have Kobe, Neves, Florian Wirtz in the 10. That is the dream with Rasmus Højlund, Cornecho, and a left sided
Mason
attacker.
Greenwood, say it out with chest now, man. Stop
Mason
trying to beat
Greenwood.
around the bush now, man. You go to the, you gotta bring. Listen to me. Listen to me. Look at João Neves, bro. Look at this youngster. Talent. You could see it. Abundance of talent. Not only talent,
Mm,
but hard work. Watch his
hard work,
physique.
yeah.
You know he had to work hard to get that. He probably have a little bit of his genetics as well in there. But at the same time, he had to be diligent and had to work hard. And I will contradict Superfly just this one time, my brother. You know we good. But Rabiot, let me tell you something about that fella Rabiot. That fella Rabiot is the opposite to Frankie De Jong, just on the side of the field. His foot is a different preferred foot, but they're almost identical in the style of player that they are. And I'm telling you all now, y'all might not like Rabiot, but if Manchester United get this fella in 5 games when y'all are sold, I'm collecting receipts and apologies. I'll let you know right now. Trust me, Rabiot will cook in our midfield. He will make us stronger. He's a winner. Man Europa. He win Champions League. He win UEFA. He win he win Europe. He win Europe with France. He win a World Cup with France. He's a very very experienced player and he knows how to win. Having
His
someone like
agent,
that,
though. His
having
agent is
someone
the
like that,
issue.
his age is not an issue. The guy is 29. He's the same age as
Nah.
Ivan Tony that men in this
Not his
chat
age,
want to
his
spend
agent.
70 million. His agent
Mark,
is no issue.
his mother is his agent. And
That's
as soon
okay
as you
if we
have his
have Sir
mother.
Jim. Sir Jim will smile, hey, how you going? Probably carry out to dinner and everything will be solved. Trust what I'm saying. Sir Jim have a certain candor about him. He's a likable guy. I don't like him. But from watching little videos and how he going on, and then I given him a little bit of leeway because I feel like his personality and my personality has similarities. And
Mm,
in the sense that I feel like he's a man confident and he's the kind of guy that will do things against the grain. He's not one, he doesn't strike me as the guy that follows the trends. And this is what a lot of United fans, they will hate him for. You know why? Because he's going to do things because he has the cojones to stand up and say, I'm making this decision. And if you all don't like it, I'll prove you wrong. That's the vibes I
mm.
get from Sir Jim Ratcliffe. This is why I'm telling everybody no. Mason Greenwood coming back to wear that number 7 next season. No, but men don't want to believe, man. Listen to me now. Drex, the bag. You see, listen to me. These baggage issues that people want to conflate. Rabio, mom as a manager, let the club deal with her. Because she not gonna be a problem for any fan. So this baggage that people talking about for me makes no sense. You know what I mean? It's like we just want to attach. It's like saying, what will the media and rival fans say? And let me be fair, bro. No one should care. Because the media and rival fans are just that. The media and rival fans. They're not trying to make us better. They don't want to see us successful. You know what I mean? So why would
Yeah.
they be genuine in their statements other than making criticisms? Look at what the media said to Ten Hag not but 9 weeks ago, guys. We want to see, we like to make is help us sell news when you guys are in turmoil. So we
Mm.
we like to see you guys under pressure in a saga, in a problem, in a situation, you know. Now tell me why fans are caring if rival fans singing bad things about a player who wearing a United shirt. Because you want to know what? When that player bag goals against their team, they will get quiet. And they can
Mm,
sing all they want. We are not them. We are United. We back those in our shirt, not the ones wearing another shirt, bro. Because at the
mm,
end of the day, right? You see, like I don't know how you could be. I know men will say they like certain players and whoever, but the notion that every single club in the top four have players better than all the players on our field is insane. You know what I mean?
mm,
Like I watched some guys putting on a story a show yesterday talking about the top 10 players in the Premier League so far this season, and Alejandro Garnacho not even getting an honorable mention, bro. He not even in the top 10 in terms of performances, right? Now, I could sit around and say that Cole Palmer, most of his goals, which is about seven of them, came from penalties he scored, right? And apart
mm,
from that, Garnacho have more output in assists and goals without those penalties if you minus them. You know what I mean? And his performances have been bigger because at the end of the day, United as a whole have not been performing great, but he has been one of the most consistent performers. And it's the same for Bruno. Bruno has more GA and output than quite a few players that they want to put into the team. And I was like, this is so strange. Imagine
mm,
he has more goals and assists than Darwin Nunez in the Premier League, but Darwin Nunez is getting in with a honorable mention and
mm.
not just a good season. And Bruno is just having a good season. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
insane. And for me, I feel like we need to stop doing that with our players. No more drama queens, just footballers. Yeah, 100% alien. Guys with that mentality, big up to you, my bro. Yo, the link is pinned. I'm probably going to be on for like 10 minutes more. So if you want to come in and have your say, alien is no problem. You know, big up to long time I didn't see you, Peter. So you know how it is, bro. Always welcome. And I'm gonna just move on to the next player because this youngster was playing this weekend against England. We all know him, but we didn't know that Manchester United wants him. And I'm definitely talking about Joao Gomez, who plays at Wolves. You know, Michael Richards was a huge admirer of this youngster, as well as some other players. And I'm a huge admirer of him as well. I think the 23-year-old has earned rave reviews with his performances. You know, he's made 28 appearances for Wolves across all competitions, scoring twice, you know, and registering an assist. Not only that, but they're keeping a keen eye on him as a replacement for Casemiro. Rather fittingly, Gomez replaced Casemiro in the midfield for Brazil at Wembley. You know, it may be a sign of things to come for his club as well as his country, but we shouldn't forget that he's still one of the first names selected into the team for both teams. It's just a matter of him staying fit, which is sadly not the case right now. Gomez played the entire match for Brazil, who beat England 1-0, and he played a key role. Former City defender Michael Richards was very impressed by his display. We have to give a quick shout out to Gomez of Wolves. The rest is for, you know, oh my word, what a player he is. I didn't have the team sheet or my glasses on. I was thinking, who's this guy? I couldn't even see until I got my glasses on. But Gomez, he is a player. Obviously, we don't get to see the Wolves on too much on TV. We see them on the match of the day. Seeing him up close and personal, his touches, his anticipation, when he's winning the ball back and his weight of ball forward, sorry, Wolves fan, he's going to the top, that lad. You know, let us know what you're thinking, guys. Big up to you. And, you know, John, what are your thoughts? Because I think this youngster is one of the answers that we are looking for our midfield. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I saw him. I don't know. For me, like in recent games, I think it might be biased. Um, um, uh, it might be biased in a sense of him only doing well in the last couple of games with for Wolves and then for Brazil. But I think the attributes that he has, the competitiveness that he has, that that dog man that he wants to get the ball or he wants to put in a tackle, he wants to work hard. That I think we need in the midfield for our team specifically, especially when we go to Europe. Like I think our European form drops because we have players only used to the Premier League and not used to the European stage. Because in Europe, teams don't give up, regardless of where they come from. They don't give up. So I think he's one of those players that he can be a squad player. He's not going to come with amazing amazing goals and assists. He's not going to be Bruno Fernandes in the beginning, but I think he can be a fantastic signing. He can definitely be a fantastic signing.
Definitely, definitely, definitely. So, and just before we go, guys, I'm just gonna bring you this one last, you know what I mean? This one last, because this youngster, he does not fit the mold of our focus. He's actually a striker, and he's a young talent coming out of AC Milan. They call him the Wonder Kid, Francesco Kamada. He has made a few appearances for the Rossoneri this season, and not only that, but he has scored 4 times already, being just only 17 years old. And when I say 17 years old, this was last week. He was his birthday, so he was doing it at 16. Guys, your thoughts in the comments. But I'm thinking that it's going to be very, very difficult, as Italian players are not allowed to sign professional contracts outside of Italy until they're 18 years old. So this is one of the things where he's probably going to cost us around 40 million, and we're going to have to leave him at the Italian Giants for the next probably year, until he gets himself at the age to be able to make the move and actually do apply his trade in the United Kingdom. Guys, this is one of the biggest and most difficult facets that faces youngsters trying to make their name into English football from around the world, especially players from my side of the pond. And I'm talking about South America, being from Trinidad and Tobago myself. You know, I experienced this as a youngster, and I know there are other youngsters, including my little brother, who's experiencing these kind of difficulties. And, you know, I'm not going to hype up the youngster too much, because I mean, although he's at PSG Academy in Florida and they wanted to have him at France, I'm not sure if he's going to be coming over in the next few weeks, but I hope to get him to Europe so he could get his chances as well. But he's very talented, more so than I ever was, to be honest. And you know what? There's lots of young players. There's lots of top players. You know, I see DJ Superfly is coming in. I want Musiala and I want Florian Wirtz in our midfield. They would fit in our team. And obviously, I know we don't want any big wages anymore, but I definitely make an exception for Vicinas Jr. And bro, I'm the same. I love Musiala myself. I tend to watch him play a lot. You know, I'm probably going to get to see him play, because Germany's supposed to have a game in my city coming up very soon, and I'm definitely going to be there. But I also have been watching Florian Wirtz a bit this season, and he's been performing really, really well, just like our goalkeeper, the youngster Kova. Guys, you know, this has just been a short presentation from me and all of the guys, you know, who I'm usually aligning myself with. John Morgan, Mental Ball Game. Big up to Drex Admiral. He's not in the building this morning, but he's here in the chat. Big up to you, Kenny Fan TV. Guys on X, don't forget to hit me a retweet, hit a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about the video. Let me know your thoughts about these young players that we mentioned today. All of them are talents, and it shows that United are focusing on the key problems in the squad. We're going to fill the defensive gaps and plug the midfield, and those things will happen first and very early in the window. And as I showed you, they're very good alternatives, young talent with bright futures, potential, and a very cost-effective price that United will need to be assorting to keep and maintain FFP in this window. And guys, if we only have 200 million, you know, I've spoken about 5 players so far, and they're not even gonna cost us 100 million to get them all. So, guys, this is something that we should be looking at. This is something where the United fan base needs to be exploring talent and potential with some experience that will give us a cost-effective, you know, return on our investment. Some guys that we could develop, and we already see that Eric Ten Hag is one of these coaches that develops the youngsters very well. As you can see, he brought forward Garnacho. A lot of people might dispute Garnacho being brought forward by Ten Hag and saying he was already in the academy, and the same with Kobe Menu. But this was the coach that brought him forward with the eyes that he has in between what he spies. Guys, big up to all of you joining me. Alien Tenno, my brother, I hope you're having a great day. I will be soon there to come and have dinner with you soon sometime. Before the season is over, we will enjoy a game together. I hope you're having a great time. Big up to all of you joining me. Mental Ball Game, big up for you coming in, bro. I always welcome you to my streams. DJ Superfly, amazing, my bro. Hope you're having a good day. Big up to you. Big up to Stephanie Griffith. Big up to you, Admiral Drex. Big up to you, Kenny Fan TV. Big up to your cousin Amino. Big up to everyone watching. And guys, all of you on X, it was much appreciated for you joining me today. Big up to you, Brush. And I hope you guys will leave some comments. Let me know what you're thinking. If there's any improvements I could make, I'm willing to do so. I will also be reading your comments out on streams tomorrow night. I hope you guys have a great day. And this has just been your boy MarkN, MUFC fan, with the latest transfer speculation and scouting reports. Young players, the focus has been shifted, and the concentration of Manchester United in the transfer window and what they're going to do. And this shows me that not only the good decisions that have been made in getting Omar Barada and possibly Dan Ashworth into the club, but the direction that we're taking. And I'm thinking for the first time in a long time, we're getting profiles that we need to fit the system that we want to play, and the best players will make their way to the top. These youngsters some of them might be drip fed, some of them might be bled into the team, and some of them might be tossed into the fire to see if they can sink or swim. But it's all different regarding their maturity levels, performances, and their game time and what they bring to the team. And they all should take their chances, and we should welcome them. Give the players time, give this manager some time. Big up to all of you joining me. Thank you for being here. I hope you have a great day, everyone, and I will be back with you guys later on tonight. You know what I mean? When I'm going to open up the floors for everyone to call in and have their say, because tomorrow we're going to talk about the exits, possible exits and transfer strategies for players either wanting out or have come to the end of their United terms. Big up to everyone. It's been your boy, MarkN MUFC fan. Thank you so much, for my boy John Morgan coming in, mental ball game, and all of you watching. I hope to get my buddy Alien Tenno on a stream this evening, but we will see if he's busy or not. Thank you guys. Smash the likes on your way out. Don't forget to subscribe. Smash those notification bell. It helps the channels grow. And don't forget, if you have a Twitter, a X, or a Facebook, give it a share, guys. Help the channel grow. It helps immensely.
Oh.